3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, October 24th, 2018. I hope you're doing well. Bitcoin, $200,000 versus extended crypto winter. That's the question. That's an article we're going to go over in this video. What is really interesting, which is why I'm covering this article, I like the article, but we just got done talking about the halving, the 2020 halving, what that might mean in relation to Bitcoin price. We just talked about this in a video the other day. And we also just talked about scarcity. And I think all of these things go together. And so before we get into this video, I want to just lay some context to the article that we're going to go over. It speaks to what we were talking about the other day, which is to say we had that 2012 halving. After that, we had that nice parabolic move up for Bitcoin right into that bear market, right? That consolidation phase. And that led us right into the 2016 halving, where we had the parabolic move up, right? Crazy gains. And then we had more consolidation and a new bear market, right? Which is where we are right now. But the topic of conversation is based on historical data, 2012 halving, 2016 halving. Well, 2020 halving is coming. Does that mean we're going to set up for a new parabolic move to new all-time highs? And just for reference, going up to this little area, top trend line, that's around $200,000 or so. So it's a really interesting thing to discuss. It's fun to discuss. Bull markets, potential bull markets, they get us excited, obviously, especially if you're invested long in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency itself. So the article does a good job of speaking to these things. And let's just jump right in and talk about what they're saying. So Bitcoin, $200,000 or a crypto winter, several experts weigh in. So I like this. It takes like five people and gets their opinion. And I really would like to know your opinion in terms of this topic. So let's start. Jim Blasco bullishly predicts that Bitcoin will top out anywhere between $100,000 and $200,000 in late 2020 or early 2021. It's currently trading at around $6,500. So for reference to this chart that we have, that is like right around here. That's about what he's saying for topping out. So it goes on. His prediction timeline follows a pattern of the technology's mining reward changing from 12.5 Bitcoins per block to 6.25 Bitcoin, as well as price increases of 5 times and then nearly 10 times Bitcoin's previous high. Marshall Long is not quite as bullish, but also predicts an upward trend as halving affects supply and demand and creates a bullish pattern. So now we're pivoting over to like halving affecting supply and demand. And I think that's why naturally, if not subconsciously, so many people start actually thinking about that, the scarcity aspect of Bitcoin when talking about the halving. For some reason, it's just like this natural thing that happens. And I just did a video on scarcity the other day, because at the end of the day, even though the last halving is over 100 years away for Bitcoin, scarcity is very real. Scarcity is very present, because right now you can own 1 out of 21 million Bitcoin for just over $6,000. That will not most likely be the case for much longer. So the point of scarcity is extremely important, especially at this stage. $6,000 is a lot for people now just to go out and buy a $6,000 Bitcoin, let alone when we start moving up in price, let alone if we get to that $200,000 range. So continuing on, specifically regarding the SEC, Long says that he's very interested to see how SEC and Bitcoin exchange traded fund plays out, as that may be the match that sparks the next bull season. He also notes that Bitcoin adoption has accelerated, with wallet users now nearing 30 million, compared to just 9 million in 2016 and 17 million in 2017. Long advises us to be ready to accumulate Bitcoin around March 2020, when halving, the primary price catalyst, starts to drive Bitcoin's price higher. So this is probably one of the only things I disagree with in this article. Long advising everyone to be ready to accumulate Bitcoin around 2020. I don't know why you wouldn't be keen to accumulate now versus 220, unless Long is expecting we're going down further. But either way, you should be ready to accumulate, in my opinion. That's not financial advice. This is my approach on the market. This is what I'm doing. So I think it's smarter to accumulate before the halving. Just want to get that out there. I'm not too sure how to pronounce this, but Michael K. Young is therefore completely unfazed by the 75% price drop in 2018. Instead of calling this wholesale price, this is my favorite part. Instead of calling this a wholesale price to pick up Bitcoin on the cheap, he refers to it as the whale sale price. I love that, and I have to start using that whale sale. It's a whale sale. It's a whale sale price. Although short-term price drops could happen anytime between today and the end of 2019, as a long-term hodler, a term commonly used among cryptocurrency investors to describe buy and hold strategy, Wang believes a meteoric price rise is just around the corner. Meteoric price rise. Nonetheless, Sarek says that and this is a different person now, says that 2019 will be the year of blockchain's mass adoption and the boom of the decentralized applications. 2019 mass adoption? Do you agree with that? I'm curious. Is it going to take longer? Crypto Slate's Whitehill, meanwhile, thinks that a potential turnaround for cryptocurrencies could be much further out. Cryptocurrency prices may see a turnaround in the event of a 2019 Bitcoin ETF, says Whitehill, but the last bear run lasted several years, and we are only 10 months into what may be an extended crypto winter. And there you have it, a roundabout view of Bitcoin. Winter versus meteoric gains, all within context, all within this article. I'm curious what side of the fence you fall on, first of all, just because I'm really all the time trying to grasp the sentiment of the market. It's definitely turned bullish the last few weeks. I've noticed that. I've definitely noticed that. But speaking to this price rise, this next price rise, I'm also interested to know your thoughts in terms of bottoming out. A lot of people saying this is only 10 months in. You know, the last bear market lasted way longer than that. Like I say, I think this bear market is moving quicker than the last, mainly because, just as that article says, look at the amount of users downloading wallets, right, in this year versus previous years, let alone in that 2013, 2014 bear market. It's different. Times are different. Adoption is different. There's an ETF in play, right? That VanEck Solid X ETF gets approval, say Q1 2019. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, it's different, right? And even if we're still in a bear market in that Q1, we get that approval, it's different than back here at this bottom. That wasn't happening then. And not to mention all of the other things that are happening right now. So really interesting to kind of really start gauging and looking at, leaders in the space. What are their thoughts? Where are their heads at? I think one thing is for sure, that was a pretty bullish article. I think one thing is for sure that most are accumulating right now. I really do. I'm accumulating. I wonder if you're accumulating. I think this speaks to something that we talk about all the time on this channel, which is patience. Patience, patience, patience. It's building time. It's accumulation time, but this is the powerful time. We might not feel like we're making money when we're accumulating down here, but this is where you make the money. Essentially, I get it. If you accumulate now and it goes to $200,000, just say you're obviously doing pretty well, right? But now is the time. Now is the time to make moves. Now is the time to be patient. Now is the time to utilize financial wisdom. Self-control. Don't get emotional. That's my advice. Because I have to remind myself of those things every day. So curious of what you think about all of this. A lot of you I do know are thinking we're going lower, and it's a true possibility. So be prepared for that as well. Appreciate all of you coming by. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of the channel. We have some fun. We're growing, and I cannot wait to grow with you in that bull market whenever it comes, because I do believe it's coming. Thanks so much. I will see you in the next video, and God bless.